So after owning this C5 Corvette for over 2 years, I made the tough decision that I'm gonna sell it. It wasn't an easy decision, but we're gonna go over the reasons why I'm deciding to finally sell the Corvette in this video. So yeah, let's jump right into things. But before we jump into that, hey, what's up? My name is Jeffrey. If you're new to the channel, this is the Omega Greed YouTube channel. This channel does all things automotive and adventure lifestyle. So if you like these type of videos about doing things with cars, off-roading, adventuring, I'm sure you're gonna find something on this channel that you'll love. So subscribe for more. But with that out of the way, let's jump into this video. So obviously guys, as you can see, this is the C5 Corvette, and I'm not gonna lie to you, even just looking at it right now in the sunlight, the way the sun is hitting off of it, it still looks beautiful. And that was kind of one of the main reasons why I did buy this vehicle. When I first bought this vehicle, I was looking for a project car for the channel, something that I can use and make content on and help just bring more people to the channel. One of my big things was trying to find something that was going to be the most bang for your buck. So the best vehicle I could get for the cheapest price, if that makes sense, that could make decent power, that could be fun, could be using it out in the canyons, can possibly do a track build on it and just like really build it out and do a whole bunch of stuff to it. And honestly, I can still say the C5 Corvette, if you're looking for a car to do that, it's still the car to do it with. It is a great platform. I remember I was doing research on like, should I try to get a C4? But then everyone was saying, hey, the LS1 engine, once you get a C5, you get the LS engine so much better than a C4. And yeah, even cross-shopping that with like the Mustang of this era, even the Camaro, I mean, the same platform basically, but really the Corvette is a really nice bang for your buck. And you can see on my channel, we've had some fun with this thing. Took it out to the canyons. I did a lot of small upgrades to it. The interior I completely swapped out. The interior now is red, which I think it looks great. I did the steering wheel as well. We did couple of those side markers. There's the black dot wheels and just a couple different things. I have a brand new roof that's on top of it. As you can see, my old roof is right there. That went flying off. So yeah, this car has been really good. Whenever I wanted to drive it and take it out to the canyons and really like use the vehicle for what it was meant to be used for, it's been a great car. You're probably wondering, if it's so great, why do you want to sell it? Well, a couple reasons. If you guys have followed the channel, I've made a ton of different videos talking about this and even like a lot of stuff that I did off camera. My car in particular has just had a lot of issues, small issues that kept adding up. The biggest thing is the electrical gremlins. Okay, cool. So first couple of days of Corvette ownership, pretty funny. All right, so that battery's completely dead. Even with trying to jump start it multiple times, it just is completely dead. I need to get a voltmeter, so I'm gonna go to the store. I just took it out of the vehicle itself. I forgot I did have this. This was a aftermarket super light battery that was actually, I got this for the Focus RS. I completely forgot about this. Which has been well documented throughout, I mean, all the forums and just a lot of people talk about this. The battery, there's some problems with it. This was the first generation of them guys switching over to this style. The C6 is a lot better than the C5. I guess it really is just like the luck of the draw. Either your one is gonna have a ton of problems, like electrical problems, or you have none. That's one of the big reasons why I did just do a complete overhaul of everything on the vehicle. So with that being said, this car has left me stranded a couple of times. Actually, more times than I've said on camera, more times than I like to admit, where I would take it somewhere, everything would be fine, get back in the car, either it wouldn't start or hesitate, or it would have problems while I was driving. It just had so many small little issues. I was diagnosing this thing for honestly the majority of the time that I owned it, and that really just, I think that just over all this time just kind of just beat me up. When it comes down to the engine and the drivetrain, everything like that has been pretty good. I did just have to get a fix done, which I'll talk about that in a second, but as far as the engine and drivetrain, everything like that has been fine. It's really the electrical issues that has been the biggest problem. And I just took the car into the dealership actually, because like no other place really wanted to try to diagnose it. And even though I was trying to do it like for the majority of the time, but whenever I would track down one thing, another thing would just happen. It was just like a giant rabbit hole. I took it into the dealership. It was in there for a while. They had literally like specialists from GM that were looking at the vehicle and diagnosing it, and we thought we figured it out what the main problem was. They said that it was one of the interior lights kept coming on even with everything like closed. It was still drawing power. So that was a big issue. And yeah, so I just recently did that when I did everything to the car. I had that done. I also had some other work done. I believe it was the camshaft positioning sensor I had to get fixed, along with some gaskets as well with the engine that was like leaking oil. I did get the brakes done as well. So I got a couple like things done to the car. Like it did, you know, cost me some money. Those were just like maintenance things that I was like, cool, while the car's here, I'm gonna just get it done and just make sure this car is like legit good. And after doing that, the car was fine, even though while I was at the dealership, after they had everything fixed, it didn't start from them one more time, and they were like, okay, cool, let's check the battery. And they were saying that the battery itself, since it died so many times before, they thought that battery was just dead. So I got another battery from GM, which was like, I forgot how much it was. It was like a couple $100. Like I could have gotten a cheaper one from like AutoZone, but while it was there, I got that done. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a battery right there. That was my backup battery that I bought like a while ago just to have, just in case. So yeah, even with all of that stuff done, I got the vehicle back. And as you guys see, I just did a video of just daily driving the car as much as I possibly can. And I have been, and it's been good when I've been daily driving it. It's been, you know, a decent car to like drive. But then just again, the battery died again. It drank the battery after all of this work that was done. And I think that just killed me inside. So yes, I know this may seem like a small issue to like some people, but after spending all this much time, effort, and energy trying to track down a problem, it just kind of just adds up. And I'm kind of at the point I was just like, all right, after all that, I'm done. That's one of the biggest issues. The other issue with the car is for myself. Now, most times, like 90% of the time, I'm the most relaxed, chill driver. Like I'm just relaxing, you know what I mean? But like when you want to drive fun and spirited, the Corvette, it's not the Corvette's fault. It's because of mine is the automatic. I wanted a manual, but I definitely feel like I settled to get an automatic. And going back, I know I talked about this, you know, going back, I really should have got the manual, but they were just like, they were harder to find. And like dealerships that wanted them, they were like way overcharging for them, like way overcharging. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the automatic is terrible, but when you want to drive spiritedly, the automatic, it doesn't quite do it for me, just because it still feels like a normal car. But even like newer vehicles now, like with the transmissions, if you blip the throttle, it'll downshift. It's a little bit more dramatic. In the automatic Corvette, it isn't like that. I mean, I can't fault it, it's just older, but it's not the same. And you can't really do the same type of things that you can do inside of a manual, you know what I mean? Like rev it out and really hear the LS1. You know what I mean? You can floor it, but when you floor it, you know, you're just going really, really fast. You know, you're just speeding, but like you can't be quite rowdy, if that makes sense. In the same way that you can be instead of a manual car, you can downshift as you're coming to like a stop sign. You know what I mean? You can let it rev out more. When you're on the highway, just downshift and give it a quick little pull. It doesn't quite do that, you know, with the automatic. So that is another thing. The car isn't as rowdy as what I want it to be for this to be like the fun car, if that makes sense. It still is a good car. I don't want to sound like I'm just like ragging on it, because I think like taking out to the canyons, like I've taken other cars out into the canyons, even my wife's Mustang GT. I think I'm definitely quicker in the canyons with the Corvette, just because it's smaller and like it can handle like tighter technical like roads better, like up in Malibu, and it can still handle big sweeping, you know, canyon roads as well. So I think it does a really good mixture. So yeah, so the car itself is still fun. It's just not as rowdy as what I would like it to be, just like normally, just like when you're just driving, you know what I mean? If you like, when you just want to be kind of like, I always don't say it, when you want to do some hoonigans type of stuff, you can't really do it. The only thing that you really can do is just like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna just floor it like off of a stop sign, which is like, I guess that's fun, but like sometimes you just want to like hear the engine, you know what I mean? It has the LS1, but I can't like quite hear it. Even with the exhaust, I have an exhaust on it, but I can't like rev the thing out anything. So yeah, that's another reason why. And then one of the other reasons is, now for me, this is gonna sound like the most complaining, and I know it's gonna sound like I am complaining, so bear with me for 1 second. The Corvette has never been like a top like wanted car for me personally. I do feel like I bought it specifically to be like, oh, I'm gonna make content on this. This is a good project car. I can make a lot of content I can do stuff with, and just like, you know, make it for YouTube, which I think it did do. I mean, I feel like a lot of people recently came to me because of the Corvette, so that makes sense. But for myself, I just never really clicked with Corvettes in general, and I don't know why. It feels like I should. If I'm an automotive enthusiast, I feel like I should like Corvettes. That's the way I feel the same way about like Subarus. It's just like, in theory, I should like them, but something about it, I don't naturally gravitate towards it. It's not that I hate them, it's just, it's not really like my top wanted vehicle, which is weird because like my grandfather worked at GM, like, you know, retired from GM. My entire family drives GM vehicles. I had a Camaro back in the day too, but like I never really thought about a Corvette as being like a car that I really wanted. It really was, I was trying to find what's the most bang for your buck, and I was like, oh, Corvettes are actually like really well, like they're good cars that you should get if you want to make power and, you know, have fun with. So I think with all that being said, things are a little bit different now. Things have changed. Like obviously, like right now we have a travel trailer with us. The hiker trailer has, you know, some dirt bikes. We even have, you know, a street bike now, again after years of not riding. So I feel like the Corvette was just kind of pushed further into the background. I still wanted to drive it more, but I still feel like every single time I try to drive it, there's some type of problem. It either doesn't start, or it's dead, or I'm scared that I'm gonna get stuck somewhere. So honestly, even my wife was telling me like she's never seen me this stressed out about a car, and I can feel it, which is so weird because it's just a car. It literally is just a car. And I'm at this point, I was just like, you know what? I think it's time to officially just move on from it. I had a great experience with it. It did the point of what I wanted it to do for the channel. It brought other people to the channel that were interested inside C5s. I'm hoping that people that are interested inside that will be interested inside what's coming next, which I'll talk about that in a second. But overall, the car itself, though, I can't fault it. It's a good car. I guess the real big thing is, though, I never loved it to the point that I was willing to go through all of these steps with it. Like even with my truck, I've had some small issues and stuff like that came up. I fixed the truck because honestly, like now, I love that truck. I was thinking of honestly like selling the truck and the Corvette, just letting you guys in on a little peek of just how I think of things. I was thinking of, what if I just consolidate, sell the truck, sell the Corvette, and get something completely different. But then I was thinking about it more, and I was like, no, actually, I like really like the truck. It's like, this is like the first time like ever that I'm like, no, actually, I don't want to sell the truck or sell a vehicle. Like I actually want this, and I really want to keep this for like a really long time. So I know like the truck for sure. Like I told my wife, I'm like, even if like the truck engine were to literally explode, I would just swap out the engine, get another 5.7 Hemi and put that in there because I like the truck just that much. I plan on having that for like long term. And I feel like I wanted that for the Corvette, but I just never personally liked the car enough to still deal with these issues, if that makes sense. So with all that being said, what is coming next? So actually, I think tomorrow, maybe possibly today, later today, I'm not fully sure. I have in principle a place that's gonna buy the Corvette. I was very open and honest with them, like what's up with the car. Like it's a good running, driving car. It just has small electrical issues. So I think the place, I have a deal in principle, and I am looking at another vehicle, which I will tell you guys about that once everything's set in stone. I'm not 100% sure for right now, but I'm pretty sure the Corvette's gonna be gone. Either way, good news about that is their values are still fairly good. So being 100% transparent with you guys, the Corvette is actually like, it held its value pretty well. I think right now they're at their bottom of what they're gonna go for, especially if it's in good condition. And like my one, I definitely brought up the condition. So like I had to put money into it, but like I didn't lose that much money on the car. So that's one of the things which I'll probably talk about that in another video, because I've switched cars quite a bit. But like my biggest thing is, though, not necessarily what you buy the car for, is like what are you gonna sell the car for when you're done with it, if you're gonna get the value back. So that's like really like how I calculate the cost of ownership of a vehicle. And once you sell it, will you still have like value? Will it still be like, you know, worth a good amount? That's one reason why I'll never buy new, because of, no, you're gonna lose so much percentage. Like No, just me personally. I mean, hey, you do what you want to do, but that's just me. But anyways, so the Corvette is most likely going to be gone. There's another vehicle that's going to be coming. And I'm telling you guys, for this next vehicle, I'm not settling for. I did not settle. I know exactly what I want, the exact car and the spec and everything like that. I can say it will be a manual, that is for sure. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably know already what it is. I posted it in my stories. It is like probably one of my favorite cars, honestly. Not even probably, it's, no, yeah, I would say just probably. Like if I had to do top 5 cars of all time, this one's in it. So I'm not really settling. I'm really making sure I know exactly what I want. Something that if there is problems like down the road, I don't care. I will always be like, I want to continue to fix it, continue to do stuff with it, and just like continue to improve the vehicle. And that is what's going to be coming up next. But I do just want to say, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. I do appreciate you. And also, if no one's told you today, honestly, you're looking good. Thanks, I really appreciate that. But I do want to tell you guys one quick little thing. I was looking at, I'll tell you guys this, I was looking at, honestly, Raptors at one point in time too. Not the newest 3rd gen, but the 2nd gens. That was my mindset. I was like, ooh, what if I were to get rid of the Corvette and then trade in the truck and just get a Raptor? The price for them, they're just like kind of insane still. And like all the ones that I saw, there were a lot of miles on them. And I was just like, let's not even dive into that. I still think it's kind of weird because I bought the Rebel because it was like the Dodge version of a Raptor, not the TRX, but like, you know, I thought it was cool. But like, honestly, I fell in love with the Rebel more than what I thought I would fall in love with it. I was thinking about getting a Raptor to be something that can be fast and also still use off-road and still use for towing, even though the towing capabilities is not as good as the Rebel. But this travel trailer with the motorcycle setup, it could have handled that, you know, no problem. But still, I was just like, that's not exactly what I want to do, at least not right now. So I didn't decide to do that. So in conclusion, what's coming next to the channel? I'll give you guys a little hint. Something that's going to be just as fast, if not quicker, probably faster than the Corvette. Something that I honestly I'm just in love with. And it is a vehicle that, yeah, you've probably seen before at some point in time. It's one of my favorite vehicles of all time. What can I say? But yeah, guys, so subscribe for more if you're interested to see what's going to be coming next for the channel. I wanted to let you guys know. Kind of the reason why I was going to be selling the Corvette. But if you want to see my 1-year review of the Corvette that I did a while ago when the roof went flying off the vehicle, check this video out right here. That was a crazy video. Did not expect that to happen, but hey, things happen the way that they happen. Subscribe for more. We'll see you over there.